If you're a doctor in India today, you know how fast things are moving. And while you're focused on your patients, there's a risk that's quietly growing every single day. That's why professional indemnity insurance is no longer just some good-to-have option. It's absolutely essential. So, let's dive in and break down what you really need to know to protect your practice and your career. So let's just start with a really direct question. How secure do you feel your medical practice is from legal risks? I mean, really think about it. In today's environment, this isn't just some hypothetical. It's a question that demands an honest answer, because the risks are more real than ever. And to put that risk into perspective, get a load of this number, 5.2 million. That is the estimated number of medical negligence cases filed in India every single year. It's not just a big number, it's a staggering figure that shows just how vulnerable every single practitioner can be. Okay, so here is our game plan for this explainer. We're going to cover 6 key areas. We'll start with the modern dilemma doctors are facing, then introduce your professional shield. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of decoding your policy, explore the out-of-court option, talk about how prevention is the best cure, and finally, we'll lay out a clear action plan for choosing your safety net. All right, let's kick things off by really understanding the problem, this rising tide of litigation. Why is this happening? Why now more than ever before? Well, it's really a perfect storm of a few key factors. For starters, patients today are way more aware of their rights. On top of that, the incredible complexity of new medical tech introduces all kinds of new, unforeseen risks. Then you have consumer protection laws, which are always evolving. And finally, the big one, social media. It can take one single complaint and just amplify it into a massive public issue, almost overnight. So, faced with all these growing risks, what's your most effective line of defense? Well, that brings us to your professional shield, indemnity insurance. So what is this stuff exactly? Think of professional indemnity insurance as a super specialized liability coverage. Its entire purpose is to protect you against claims of negligence, errors, or omissions. And crucially, it covers the costs that can be absolutely crippling. We're talking legal defense fees, any settlements, and court-ordered judgments. It's your financial and professional safeguard all rolled into one. And it's the insurance providers who offer this critical shield. They're the ones who step in to manage the whole legal process and cover the costs, which lets you focus on your practice without that constant shadow of a lawsuit threatening your financial stability. Now, here's the thing. It's not enough to just have a policy, right? You've got to understand what's actually inside it. So let's decode the fine print and find out what really matters. Okay, this is a big one. Most policies for doctors in India are what's known as a claims-made policy, and this distinction is so important. It means the policy covers claims that are filed and reported while your policy is active. The actual incident could have happened years ago, but the claim has to be made during the policy period to be covered, assuming you've had that continuous coverage. Another supercritical aspect is the limit of indemnity, and you'll usually see it as a ratio. This basically defines how your total coverage for the year gets split per claim. A 1-to-1 ratio on a 1-core policy is simple. You have the full 1 core available for any single claim. But look at that 1-to-4 ratio. That means you only have 25 lakhs available for any single claim. Understanding this ratio is absolutely key to making sure you're not underinsured if a major lawsuit comes your way. You know, it's just as important to know what your policy doesn't cover as what it does. So on the left, you see the typical stuff that's covered: legal defense, settlements, claims for errors. But on the right are the common exclusions, and you have to pay attention here. We're talking about things like criminal acts, services you might have rendered while under the influence, or just willful neglect. It is so vital to read your policy's exclusions carefully. All right, moving on. Now, the good news is not every claim has to end in a dramatic, messy courtroom battle. Let's look at an important feature that some, not all, policies offer: the out-of-court settlement option. And the simple answer is no, absolutely not. A prolonged public trial can be incredibly expensive, it eats up your time, and it can be really damaging to your reputation, even if you're eventually cleared of any wrongdoing. Thankfully, there is another way. An out-of-court settlement can be a really strategic choice for a few reasons. Maybe the case is just tough to defend, or it's clear an unintentional mistake happened. But more importantly, it can be a powerful tool to just avoid all the negative media attention and protect your professional reputation, no matter what the outcome of the case might have been. Okay, and here is the critical takeaway on this point. This option to settle is not standard. You absolutely must verify if your specific policy includes this benefit and understand the terms. Don't just assume you have it. You've got to check the fine print. Now, while insurance is a fantastic safety net, the best strategy is always prevention, right? This brings us to the proactive side of protecting your practice, having a really robust risk management system in place. This quote just nails it. Insurance is your shield for when things go wrong, but risk management, that's your strategy to make sure they don't go wrong to begin with. It's all about building a fortress of good practice. So how do you do it? Well, it really comes down to 4 pillars. First, meticulous record keeping. Your patient records are your single best defense, period. Second, clear communication with your patients about their treatments and the risks involved. Third, making sure you have documented informed consent. And fourth, always adhering to established clinical protocols and standards. These 4 things are the foundation of a safe practice. Okay, so we've covered the risks, the shield, and the preventative measures. Let's bring it all together with a clear, actionable plan for your practice. Here it is, your 5-point action plan. Number 1, review your indemnity policy every single year to make sure your coverage is still adequate. 2, optimize your electronic medical records system for better, more consistent documentation. 3, standardize those documentation procedures for your entire staff. 4, enhance patient communication with clear protocols. And number 5, stay updated on what's happening in the medical legal world. These are concrete steps you can take, like today. And this brings us back to that one final critical question. In a world that's only getting more complex, is your practice truly prepared for the unexpected? The only way to confidently answer yes is to be proactive with both your insurance and your daily risk management. Your peace of mind and your practice depend on it.